So that is how people use period purpose, indeed. Indeed. All right, so I think this game is, so like these guys look like sort of like plat 3, and these are like plat 3. So this is P3. This is like basically 1700 rating. We'll see how this one actually plays out. I'll break down what they're running. Chocolate is a power sword dagger thief, so he's going to be doing roaming. He's going to basically look to decap nodes to +1 his teammates. Domo is playing power Shira Revenant, so he's a bruiser. He's running sword, staff. If he's running like standard, he's basically able to use, you know, Death Strike and phase traversal to very quickly jump onto targets. But he does very, very high burst damage. Emma is playing Reaper, so I need to check what he's running. It's not like very easy to tell straight off the bat. So he's got Paladin Amulet and Chronomancer, so he's effectively trying to be a tank. He is effectively being a duelist with good sustain. He's not using Blood Magic trait line. So he's more interested in doing good damage and not necessarily... Oh, wait, no! He's core! He's core! Blood Magic, Spite, and Curses. I looked at that so stupidly. Like, obviously he's not Reaper. He's running core, so he's a free-to-play Necro. I haven't seen this in a really long time. That's so cool. That's really cool. Okay. Holo YOLO is playing Static Discharge. So again, this is the build that I was talking about. He is right now, or was, opting to be the 1v1 investment into Prickleberry. So Prickleberry is a Spellbreaker. I'm sure of it. And instead of actually Holo YOLO, you know, giving this node up for free, what he's trying to do is actually contest into the warrior so that the warrior can't pick up the node. This node is still neutral, as you can see. Okay, so all he's trying to do is keep it neutral, hopefully win the engagement eventually. But you know, by walking off it and like re-engaging and shit like that, he's able to prevent Prickle from getting the node for free, and that's his intention. So he is opting as the duelist in this game with this build. And this build is anti-power, so he does effectively play well into this. And then he's actually just been +1 by Chocolate, so they will kill Prickleberry here, probably. Otherwise, Prickleberry is forced to disengage. So Prickleberry's going to leave, he's going to abuse terrain here. So he's jumping up here so that Chocolate wouldn't be able to steal to him. However, both of them are following him. What the fuck? Chocolate, just leave. Just leave, Chocolate. He stayed too long. So when you're a thief, you don't want to hang around for this long. Like, you want to make what you're doing happen within 20 seconds. What he can make happen, actually, is Holo YOLO was sitting here capping the node, red team get the node, and Prickleberry was forced off whilst Chocolate kept him busy. So the threat of having a 2v1 meant that the warrior just stayed on terrain, and now the node belongs to Holo YOLO. And Prickleberry has no kit. So Holo YOLO probably going to kill him here. So he did. So that actually paid off quite a lot. Prickleberry was forced to use his passive, all of his cooldowns to sustain into Choco. And then Holo YOLO picked up the node. And now, you know, Prickleberry's being left to bleed out. So instead of stomping him, he's bleeding him. Because that means that, you know, all these ticks of like health that he's losing, they mean they're additional seconds that he's not like jumping straight back into the game. So as long as you're certain that somebody's not going to come along and res him or somehow rally him, let him bleed out. Okay? So red team actually have 3-point dominance over the blue team right now. I haven't actually gone through what the Yoko Guard is running. So Yoko Guard is he's a core bursty Hammer Guardian. He's a core Hammer Guardian. So what they actually have on this build is 2 roaming damage dealers on the back of Domo and Yoko. They have a duelist core, a core Necro, who is effectively looking to, you know, hold a 1v2. They have Holo YOLO, who is acting as a duelist. So they actually have, you know, 2 duelists for side node or node holding, whilst 2 people rotate. And then they also have the roaming +1, which is Chocolate. So Chocolate he's not going to win this engagement. He's dumb for trying. I mean, all he's doing is memeing on Prickle until somebody can +1 him. So now that Yoko's here, they can 2v1. So, I mean, Chocolate was outplaying Prickle, okay? Like, he was, because, like, you know, Prickleberry couldn't land anything on him. But still, it's just unnecessary. You know, it was like he could have actually just been the +1 instead of asking for the +1. So yeah, they have 1 roamer, sort of 1 roaming decap, 2 +1 damage deals, like roaming damage dealers, and then 2 duelists. So it's like a 2-2-1 comp. Effectively, you could put Chocolate into the same sort of category as like Domo is, but Domo has much higher burst damage than what Chocolate does. That's why I put them in different categories. One is like more of a random +1, you know, utilizes some CC and, you know, immobilizes and shit, but ultimately can't really be a bruiser. He's only a +1. Most of his like 1v1s just do not work. So, you know, SD Thief 1v1s are really like no. You don't want to do that at all. Whereas as a Revenant, you can kind of do that. For the blue team, they have a, what looks to be a, oh, he's running Carrion Amulet. So Joby is running Soul Reaping Curses, obviously because he has Zul. So I'll explain in a moment, but wait, where's he getting the fight? Oh, never mind. Carrion Amulet gives you over 30k health, and because he had over 30k health, I made the assumption that he had Carrion. He doesn't, he has Deadshot. He's Deadshot with Curses and Soul Reaping. So Deadshot Amulet is Precision, Vitality, Condition, and Expertise. The reason he has an additional 5k health is because of Defensive Inscription. Inspiration. So that is because of the shield that one of his team members has. So I'm assuming Nick Knight went and picked it up. So yeah, second life. When you're downed, you are immediately respawned. He has it for another 8 seconds, in which case we're going to see Joby's health go down to 26512 or whatever the fuck it is. In a minute, you'll see it anyway. It's just dropped off. Zul is his Firebrand support. So the reason that he's running Deadshot and not running, you know, Blood Amulet, Sage Amulet with the Blood Magic trait line is because he has the sustain from Zul, and he feels comfortable with Zul healing him, that he doesn't feel like he needs to resustain himself. Prickleberry is a duelist. He is looking to have, you know, side node engagements. As I said before, he's a Spellbreaker who's going to be in 1v1s. Carried by Clones is a Demolishers? I'm going to say Demolishers Mirage? Rabid. Motherfucker. All right, fine. He's running Rabid, which is effectively it's sort of on the same lines as Demolishers, but it's the condition variant of Demolishers because it has toughness. You know, it's anti-power, anti-damage, but it does have like good condition damage and, you know, precision for crits on his conditions. So he is Condition Mirage. And Nick Knight is playing what looks to be Sword Dagger as well. So Nick Knight and Chocolate, they are both playing the same variant of Roaming Thief, of Power Sword Dagger Thief. So to categorize what the blue team have, they have a team fighter, which is Joby. They have a support, which is Zul. They have a duelist, which is Prickle. And then they have 2 roaming damage dealers, which is Carried by Clones and Nick Knight. However, Nick Knight is less of a roaming damage deal, more of a +1 rotating decapper as a thief. Okay, so he looks for the 2v1s, you know, or the 1v1s that he can create a 2v1 with by, you know, adding himself to it. He's not looking for 1v1s because he can't really do that. Unless it's a thief, in which case he's now pressuring the enemy thief. So the enemy thief is trying to get the decap, as you can see. He's trying to keep up with him so he can effectively push him off the map or push him away from the node. So he made it back to the node to prevent the decap by... There's 1 tick left. Chocolate wants to engage on him, so we're going to see a thief 1v1. Actually, no, we're not, because Yoko Guard came in. So Chocolate played that really well. He dodged the engagement from Nick Knight. He's got the decap that he wanted regardless. So the fact that Nick Knight actually missed his steal, or his engagement, meant that... oh, actually, this might turn. He landed steal and flanking strike lastness. He needs to land that 1 lastness. Sword 2 into lastness. Okay, he's down. He's going to Shadow Step Stomp, right? You're going to Shadow Step? There it is. So he Shadow Step Stomp to prevent the CC coming out of Yoko. This is actually really good for the blue team. Blue team already have, you know, mid-node ownership. They're going to pick up their close node as well because they just won that engagement, that 2v2. Nick Knight's going to full cap this whole thing. And Prickleberry currently just won the 1v1 into Holo YOLO. So that was the engineer who was trying to act as a duelist. Prickleberry outplayed him. So he's going to gain... They're going to 3-cap these bad boys. Unless they lose mid. They might lose mid.
Just like that, blue team
they might lose this. All they need is the stomp. If they get the stomp on Zul, then they actually probably get the decap in mid. So the fact that Zul is now dead, which is the support for Lord Joby, Joby's now susceptible to damage. Like, as I said before, like, Necros in themselves are very, very susceptible to damage. So he goes down because Zul goes down, alright? They are synergized. They need to exist together, okay? Zul is the enabler of this class, alright? So if you're a Necromancer and you see a Necro by itself, it's very squishy, or at least it's hard to sustain for most players. All right. That's why that turn of events happened the way it did. However, it seems that most blue players have actually rotated into the mid to try and make something happen here. Emaputopus is actually very, very hard pressured right now in a 2v1. But they might kill him. Okay, they got him. They can get the stomp here. So Nick Knight is using Cloak and Dagger to get the stealth stomp. He wants to eliminate this player from the team fight because they need the pressure. They need to make sure that they have the ownership over this node. They don't want anybody like potentially getting rezzed. So Zul stayed on the node. He made sure that they got the close node, and the Mesmer Falco just rotated back to his close node to ensure that they have ownership. So Chocolate was picked up in that rotation. Domo is still hanging around, which is their Revenant. Joby went down in the, I think he got spiked. So here's Zul coming in with his teleport res, dude. If he gets this res, it's really, really good. He got the res, so then it turns straight back on Yokos. This is really good for the blue team. Yet again, they solidify their lead by creating a 5v4. So that was this is why you have a Firebrand support, okay? He literally just teleported on his face, right? Shadow step to an ally in the target area, heal around them, right? That's all he did. And then because I think he's running Sanctuary on his trait line. Where is it? I can't remember which trait line it's in. Stalwart Defender? No. Not that. Not that. There's one where you teleport when you start rezzing somebody, you put up a shield. Here we go. Yeah. So cast Lesser Shield of Absorption when you begin reviving an ally. So what he does is he teleports to the player and starts rezzing them with a dome around them, so they can't even like have like projectiles affecting them. And he also gets increased revival speed as well because he's a support. Like he's built for it. So it's just really, really good play by Zul. He was aware of like his Necromancer going down, and he turned that. He kept that in for his team. So the reason that the blue team is sneaking ahead is things like that, and the fact that they've had ownership over 2 nodes most of the time, while the red team haven't had anything. And even if they only have 1 ticking, that's still 1 point every 2 seconds. So they are very slowly but surely making something happen across the map. Prickleberry won his 1v1 into the Hollowsmith, and therefore, like, that enabled them to have ownership over that node. As you can see here, there's a Core Guardian into Power SD Thief going on. So if the Power SD Thief can bait Yoko Guard into using his elite, when he's in invulnerability, then he'll be able to get the decap. Nicky Knight knows he can't win that engagement. We've got 2 people that are going, oh my, massive team fight. So Zul's going down, Joby's down, and Carried by Clone is down. That's 3 people down on the blue team, which means the red team have a chance to sway this back in momentum. So with 3 players going down on the blue, that means that the red team will be able to take mid. They've got ownership over the far point. They need to sustain it. So that means whoever's currently running into Nick Knight. Really good play by Nick Knight. Nick Knight used Basilisk Venom and actually unblockably stunned the Core Guardian coming in. So he got the last tick that he needed. So he actually got the decap on that 2-node ownership. So red team only actually get 1 node off of that. And Prickleberry's defense on this far node as well means that they still have 1 node ticking. And he's going to be in a 1v2 here. It's what he wants. He wants... No, Prickleberry, don't do that! Oh, you still had ownership over the node, Prickle. Okay, well, he's chased down Domo. It's fine. He gets to eliminate the roaming damage dealer off of the red team. He's going to leave him there to bleed, and he's going to pick up the node. So he needs 15 seconds to keep his team in this and keep their node ticking. And they have ownership over their close node. So they've just won an engagement here. This looks to be like a 3v1. They've got to kill him, put us. Come on. Kill the Reaper. Sorry, the Shroud. Kill him. Right, so they're going to leave him to bleed out. They have ownership over this close node. They're going to rotate and outnumber in mid, so that's actually going to be a 4v2. Hollow YOLO is going to be forced to disengage. Chocolate just accepts that it's over. He's just jumping and just pissing around. Blue team take this win. 100%. They've got 2-node ownership. Mid is actually going in their favor as well. They kill Hollow YOLO. Red team can't come back. So, I mean... It's almost like the, this was effectively meta versus meta. Like, really. It was meta versus meta, but Prickleberry outplayed the engineer. So, like, you know, in the 1v1 duel, the node requires 2 people then, because Prickleberry requires a 2v1. So the fact that, like, he was able to create a numbers advantage himself that meant that the blue team overall had more map dominance because they could apply 4 people to a node into like 3, for example. Because if they require Domo and Chocolate to go and engage, or even Domo and Hollow YOLO to go into Prickleberry, that means that they just have Chocolate, Emma Puttipus, and Yoko Guard left to answer to 4 people on the blue team. So that's why that happened. But that was I mean, how long did that match go on for? I think it was like almost a 14-minute match. So that was pretty good. Okay, good. I mean, my brain is lagging a little bit, but whatever. All right, so we just saw this this red team anyway. This is a semi-final, so the team that wins this one goes into the final. Okay. So we saw this one before, and I commented on the fact that they're running 2 blood necros. So blood necros in themselves are pretty shit by when they're alone. And what we're gonna see is, we've got Volcano going mid with his support, which is Racian. So they're gonna look in, having a numbers advantage here. But whoever is on the side node, which is Infernal, is gonna be into Prickleberry. And I can tell you already that Prickleberry is going to win this 1v1. And we're going to watch it happen. Alright? But Prickleberry wins it. And this is why the blue team are going to take the win here. Okay? And this is my experienced understanding of how this game works. And I can already tell you that their comp sucks. And I don't really understand how the enemy team won last time.
Capture point.
So Bloodstorm's already used his elite. That's the stun lock, and he's dead. So what that means is that the blue team are now going to have ownership over the far node, okay? And this, oh, he needs to react to this. Volcano's going to pull him. Volcano's going to pull him. He's going to get some life force. Garish pillar him. And Blood Res. Blood Res. So he needed to react to the fact that Necro was coming down the ramp. He didn't see him. So now, actually, okay, now red team are re-sustained. That's a misplay by Prickleberry. The 1v1, Prickleberry into the Necro was easy enough for Prickleberry, as you saw. He was destined to win that. I'm just surprised that he didn't react to the Necro roaming in. Blue team pick up their close node finally. They would have had 2 nodes ticking if Prickleberry had actually reacted to that. Once again, Prickleberry will win this 1v1 into 0. He's disengaging away from the Ghastly Breach, which is Volcano's elite. As you can see, he just used it. He's basically baited Volcano into using all of his kit, right? And now he's going to punish him for it. And this is why, as I said, ultimately, the red team are going to lose this. Okay? Because they have to keep sending people to answer to the dominance that Prickleberry has over them. And that's why Prickleberry will demand a 2v1. Okay? And even if they get a quick 1v1... So here, you got the rotation of the Sword Dagger Thief, and you get the Mesmer that comes in. Volcano is punished. They have to stomp him because he's dead on the node. But that's just what it is. So now they have ownership over that node. That was a good rotation by Chaos Illusionisto because he got the decap on the blue team close while that was happening. However, blue team won the mid node while that was happening. So they are rotating properly, but the red team were forced to answer into the downstate Volcano. So actually, if Volcano rotates in a mid now, they get punishment. Prickleberry again in a 1v2. Prickleberry will not win this engagement. He will not win this. He should know this. Just leave, disengage. Perfect. So Rastian, right? Rastian now has to choose, and this is now reiterating my point. Okay, so the Firebrand can't be in 2 places at once. Okay, and he has 2 very susceptible players on his team: the Necromancer, and he also the 2 Necromancers. So he has Volcano, who he has to look after, and he has Infernal, who he has to look after. So he can't look after both of them straight away. So Prickleberry wins this engagement, probably, I would expect. As he has already in the past. Here we go. So there we go. Rastian or Volcano, and Volcano was the one that came in res before. They are forced to come and answer to Prickleberry. So I'm still saying, based on composition alone, that Prickleberry's team will win this. Okay, they will win this because he is forcing the 1v2, and they have weak duelists. Okay, so they are holding mid node. You're going to see carried by clones into Illusionista. So this is... well, you're running Sword P. So he's playing SP Rabid, right? Or did you change? He's gone to Carrion. Okay, so he's running Carrion Amulet as a Mirage. He's running Axe Torch and Sword Pistol. So I guess he's doing that for the duel. So again, he gets the decap, and now we see blue team holding 2 nodes and 1 neutral. Okay, never mind. They took it in the mid. They decapped it in a 3v2. Nick Knight goes down in the 1v1 against the roaming core guard.
Just like that.
And now,
Team takes a capture point.
okay, he's just putting him out of his misery. He doesn't need to do that, to be honest. He didn't actually have to kill Nick. Like, Nick would have just died eventually. So Prickleberry again is forcing a 2v1 here, and the blue team are in a 3v3. So actually, this is going to remain neutral probably. In terms of the fact that nobody's going to cap it because they're going to maintain ownership, like equal ownership. Meanwhile, you can see that the blue team have their close node. So meanwhile, the blue team are actually keeping up.
Team got a capture point.
So once again, Prickleberry still in a 1v2, proving that, you know, Spellbreaker has the ability to 1vx and sustain. They're using a lot of time and a lot of kit to try and answer to this. And while this is happening, like I said, blue team is still ticking. So this is the benefit of creating a numbers advantage, because there's nobody that's available to go and decap that, because they need the 3v3 in mid to sustain. This will, you know, for it to remain equal, they need the 3v3, and they are never going to, you know, beat Prickle 1v1. Elf Warden is now dying in the 1v1 to Prickle. So you see what I mean? This is how the numbers advantages actually makes this happen. What in a Spellbreaker helps sustain a 1vx? So it's more so the kit that's like, you know, he has good avoidance, like he's able to use, you know, Greatsword 3 to evade as well as make up time and, you know, distance. Greatsword 5 is huge damage. Quickness with Greatsword 2 is huge damage. Full counter is, you know, resistance protection. If you trigger full counter, they gain boons, right? They gain stability, can't be knocked down. They gain resistance, they gain protection, and people don't really know what they're doing fighting into Spellbreakers. He also does 20% damage increase when he's got full counter, and 100% damage reduction for the uptime of full counter. So, like, if he full counters and you use an ability on him, he doesn't take any damage. So his kit is actually anti-conditions. And he's actually got Rampage up, so we're going to see Volcano get melted here. Surely. He's going to bait Volcano's kit out, and then he's going to Rampage his face, right? Is that what we're going to see? Are we going to see that? I mean, he doesn't even need to. Like, just look at the punishment that he's causing to Volcano. Right? That's a good use of Stun Break from his Featherfoot Grace. So I know that I'm showcasing Spellbreaker a lot here, but I want you to see, like, why my prediction is happening, right? I think that the red team just picked up the cannon as well, and that's why they're slowly sneaking away. Prickleberry's full fucking health, dude. He's full health, and he's killed that Necro. All right? So this is proof of, like, you know, the capabilities of a duelist as a Spellbreaker. Meanwhile, you can see the blue team is actually winning in the 2v1 into Chaos. It looks like Nick Knight actually went down. Nick Knight needs to be really careful, because if shit like that happens, that's really, really detrimental. Raystian coming in and getting the res, so this is a proof again of like the uses of a Firebrand. I guess, like, the blue team Firebrand is like, he's not anywhere to actually sustain anything. This is really good play as well. They're now watching the Thief get the decap in mid. Really good rotation there from the Thief. This is why you rotate as a Thief. This is what I was saying. You are the decapper as a Thief. You have the Shadow Step capabilities of making something happen across the map. So now the red team aren't actually ticking any nodes per second, right? So this was because of his rotate. This is purely based off of the fact that the Thief made that happen. Raystian just, sorry, Elf Warden just stayed in full cap. I think he won the 1v1 into carried by clones. So I would expect that to happen because the Mesmer, the blue team Mesmer, is putting out condition damage, and Elf Warden is a core guardian which has, you know, multiple methods of condition removal. So as we can see, the core is actually chasing on Azul right now. He can spike him out pretty heavily. So this is a 3v2, 4v2. Wait, 4v3. It's a 4v3. Both of the Necromancers are here, sustained by the Firebrand. So actually, the blue team don't really want to be here, but they want to keep it neutral. A good, again, they got a +1, so Chaos Illusionisto got +1 by Nick. So Carried by Clones was having a 1v1, that was Mesmer versus Mesmer. The Thief rotates and goes and gets the +1. So now the cannon is up now. It's got 1 second. So Bell, if this Bell goes towards the blue team gain 50 points for the cap. All right, so it's 25 points by standard, and then 25 points additional for each additional cap. So now this is a 2v1. He can't win that engagement. Prickleberry is coming in to try and sustain the node. So we're going to see that the warrior actually sustains the 1v1 into both the core and the spike damage. Well, the spike damage from the core and the condition damage from the necromancer. He needs sustained by Zul. Like, Zul needs to answer to this. Zul should be on the node, because Prickleberry is going to get fucked. This is a bad thing to have. So, okay, now Zul is leaving. Great. So this is a good example of rotation. Joby knows that he can win that 1v1 into Rastian. Like, he can sustain himself. He doesn't need his support. And Zul knows that he needs to be on the bell to make sure that the blue team remain, like, you know, powerful on that node. So you're going to see both Necromancers, and you're going to see the Firebrand on that node. Actually, the whole red team are there. The whole red team are there. And the reason the whole red team are there is because they know that if the blue team get this, the blue team take lead. Now, all that the blue team need to do with 2 ownership... Never mind, they're getting the decap. Even with single ownership, if they hold this for like 30 seconds, right, and then they leave it at like a 1v1 or whatever, right, the blue team will catch up. So the red team are not gaining any points whatsoever at this point in time. If they get this caddy, though, plus 50.
See that? Red team got a capture point.
God damn it. They were doing so well, dude. They were doing so fucking well. Joby's getting punished now as well because Zul's not able to okay, never mind. Zul's able to resustain him. I hope. Here we go. Nice. So Joby was like looking like really punished now, but Zul's going to top him up. So once again, you can see that the Firebrand and the Necromancer are going to, you know, sustain the 1v2. Sorry, the 2v1. They can have like a 2v2. They can have a 3v2. They will sustain by abusing terrain and things like that. You see Elf Warden is trying to disengage by using terrain. Joby is choosing to follow whilst Zul holds the node. Zul will not die in this engagement either. Like, Warden's going to die here, if anything. He's out of condition removal, surely. Yeah. No, he just had fucking Contemplation of Purity come up. He has 1k left. If he goes down, that's really good. Okay, so Joby can now solo hold that. Alright, I'm not sure they needed the stomp. They needed to eliminate people. You want the Mesmer builds? Alright, Carried by Clones is running Dueling Illusions and Mirage. He's got Carrion Amulet and Rune of Adventure, Axe Torch and Sword Pistol. He's got Doom, Energy, Annulment, and Energy again. That's his straight line, okay. Chaos Illusionisto is playing Dueling, Domination, Mirage. With Great Sword, Sword Torch, Exploitation Energy, Exploitation Absorption, and Scholar and Marauder. Okay? Scholar and Marauder. I did say the blue team were going to win. Based on comp, I thought they were going to win.
Shit, what the fuck?
Yo, Mikkel, thank you for the 21, dude. You're amazing. I honestly thought... Based on their comp, they should have won. They didn't rotate properly. I'm putting that on Nick Knight. Like, he had a couple of, like, good decaps, but he wasn't making anything happen. And Falco died 1v1 multiple times. So actually, it's probably on Falco and Nick. Like, Zul played really well, Joby played really well, Prickle played really well, but they were let down by the damage deals because they were getting picked off in 1v1s, and that shouldn't really have happened because they had much better rotational mobility than the red team did because they have a really slow Necromancer that's rotating, they have a Core Guardian, okay, and they have a Firebrand and a Mesmer. So, like, all right, so they had Core Guardian and Mesmer. They should have been outwitted by the Mesmer and Thief because the Thief can actually counter the output of the Core Guard, you know, by out-rotating easily. And Chaos Illusionisto, I guess, like, maybe the 2v1 into that would have been quick and turned as well. So I honestly thought the blue team were going to win that, but it is what it is. The game was still, like, really close. Like, really, really close. So again, this should showcase good rotations. It's going to showcase a lot of team fight duels. Hopefully you'll learn something from this.
The match starts soon.
A Revenant. Now, this is what I wanted to see. Okay, I'll try and showcase some Revenant gameplay. He is playing Power Shiver Revenant, which is a bruiser. He's a roaming damage dealer. He can effectively 1v1, but he's mainly looking for +1 engagements, which are... He's kind of operating like a thief, but his priority is not decapping. It's effectively using his burst damage to make something happen. In some 1v1s, it's okay. Kranox is a Firebrand support. So again, the same build as we've seen across many. He's looking to sustain his Scourge Necro. His Scourge Necro is Miho. He has 26,000 health. So he's running Sage Amulet and Rune of the Traveler, so he's got extra stats, so he gets extra Vit, which gives him extra health. So Sage Amulet with Blood Magic trait line and probably Curses. Sorry, Bing, rather. Sorry, Bing. So standard meta build for Necro. He is trying to rotate and, you know, play around these people who are trying to burst him out. Cranox can't get the res. Cranox got Signet of Mercy? No. No Signet of Mercy, so Miho gets the stomp. However, you see Raystian is running Signet of Mercy. Watch this skill. If somebody goes down on the blue team, he will res them with that shit. It's so OP. He can heal for like 90k like that. So yeah, we can see that the Firebrand and the Scourge were actually hard punished there by the damage output from the blue team. So that's like the standard comp there. Adiopaid Divine is playing Sword Dagger. So he's playing Sword Dagger Power, got absolutely one-shot by the Mesmer. What the fuck? Holy shit. That was just painful to watch. Now that right there is why you do not take 1v1s as a thief, guys. I'm telling you, you don't have the kit to enable it, alright? Just fuck that shit. Don't even try. 2v1, 3v2, 4v3, 5v4, not 1v1, alright? It's not worth it. Stronglow Beastmaster is playing Bunker Druid, so he is he's a sustainable point holder. He doesn't really do incredibly high damage, but he is looking to keep himself alive for as long as possible. His damage output is like, it used to be a lot higher and then they nerfed it down a bit. So what he's looking to do is have numbers advantages. So he's going to be, you know, 1v2, 1v1, 1v2, and he's going to encourage people to answer to him. He actually got that decap there, which was really clever. So he knocks back Infernal. He can kill Infernal. He can 100% win this 1v1 simply because he has good condition removal and he has good burst damage and he can knock Infernal away. Like, his pet will fuck him up. He disengages with stealth, heals himself up periodically with Troll Unguent, and now he's going to, like, re-engage back into Infernal. He moves out of his engage, his elite, rather. And now I expect him to win this. This is where I expect him to kill him. Knockback. Goes back into stealth, or attempted to go back into stealth with Hunter's Shot. Come on, man. Don't let me down, Stronglow. Like, you're going to win this one eventually, right? Because Infernal has nothing left. He's used all of his kit. Actually, never mind. He has Sandflare. But still, I expect you to win this. This is, like, your perfect engagement, and you know it. So, because Stronglow's a druid, he's anti conditions in general. He can knock the guy out and, you know, re-neutralize the node. This is why druid is effective in what it is. And Infernal's going down. Come on, baby. He's got 19% health. Make it happen. Kill him. Prove it. Prove it to me. Show me that meta works. Show me. Show me. And we're seeing Necromancers being punished in a 1v1 versus a druid of all things. Come on, man. Give me kill him. Oh, he's resustained. All right, whatever. All right, so yeah, so that is the red team. The blue team, they have Elf Warden, who is a Core Hammer Guardian rotating +1 damage deal. Volcano, who is a Scourge Necro running Blood Magic trait line and Sage Amulet. You've got Chaos Illusionisto, as we saw, was running what I believe is Power Spike. Yep, so Marauder Scholar, so he is literally looking to one-shot people, hence why he one-shot the Thief before. And Infernal Bloodstorm, again, is the Scourge. We missed it! Stronglow did it. Stronglow killed him. Nice. Stronglow won the 1v1, okay? So, proof again that, you know, anti-condition and range damage and survivability. He is a good bunker. He sustained the 1v1 into what is effectively a team fighter. He was in the running to win that based on his kit, right? And then Raystian, who is the Firebrand support. So, again, we're seeing an instance where a Necromancer that is, you know, has low sustain, has okay damage, but really doesn't, you know, win in the majority of 1v1s or 2v1s. We even see Raystian go down. They won't be able to. Actually, they have 2 blood reds. Can they get this? They're chaining CC. Raystian is still on the way up. Okay, this is really dangerous. Red team are going to kill the whole team here. They're going to kill the whole team. Down goes Infernal. Volcano's going to follow. They're just calling targets and moving between them. Oh, and Elf goes down as well. Okay, so now red team are going to take the lead. They're going to leave all of them to burn out, surely. Oh, they can't. They can't leave them because they're all dead on the point. So Elf Warden's going to be left to bleed, but they're going to push out Infernal so they can get the decap in the mid. They're also going to rotate towards blue close and try and get the engagement in like a 2v1 onto Chaos. Stronglow again in this 1v1. He's rotated off. So he still has ownership over his node. This is where the fight took place, right? Or did it take place in this one? Oh no, it was here, wasn't it? He always had ownership over this. Chaos Illusionisto went down to the +1 from the Revenant, and he's actually gone down. Wait, he didn't go down again. No, never mind. He resustained. So Racian came in, rezzed him with teleport res, and then basically undid the +1 from Mists. I think he wants to go back in on him. So they got the +1 from the SD Thief. So Chaos goes down. Red team have really, really good teamfight potential. They're focusing Rastian. So Rastian is trying to heal everybody else up, but they're putting so much pressure onto the support that they can't... See, now they're going down as well. Infernal's trying to get the res. If you get one res, there's a chain. All right, so never mind. Again, you can see that the red team's pure spike damage, pure damage output out-sustains even a Firebrand and double Blood Magic Necromancer. So again, the red team are going to just take the lead here. Dude, this is actually swinging. Like, they had like a 90-point lead and they've thrown it. And see, this is one of the bad things, because now now this is staggered respawns, okay? So in the time it takes the red team to kill Chaos, right? So Chaos is going to go down here in a 2v1, potentially. Potentially. Miss Warrior is going to follow him up. Let's see if he actually kills him. And they got Miho here as well, so 2v1 into Chaos. Chaos can't sustain this 1v2. So he ports out, or makes the attempted port out. He reports back into the mid via his portal, to which point Kranox is still here, teleports back, and now it's a 3v2. So they have a Scourge Necro, and they have a Revenant versus Scourge, Firebrand, and Mesmer. There is absolutely no way that the Revenant or the, or the Druid win that. So they've been forced to disengage. Well, wait, it wasn't Druid, was it? It was Revenant and Miho. Necro was there. That's right, Necro was there. So they knew they could never win that, so they rotated immediately off that. They didn't want to be involved, because they were like, well, that's a 3v2. It's a 3v2 we don't even have sustain for. We don't have the damage output. We'll regroup somewhere else and we'll make something else happen. So instead of just suiciding, all they did was rotate back into mid. As you can see, they got the Firebrand down on the blue team. They've already killed one of the Necros as well in transition. So Firebrand goes down. They're now back at a 5v3. Volcano goes down. Elf Warden's going to follow with the SD Thief following. And this is just a complete fucking domination over the red team. Over the blue team, sorry. So they've got their momentum. And the problem is, right? The problem is just because the blue team is staggering. So you can see Rastian and Infernal, they're gonna come out, right? And they're going to be engaging in a fight before anybody else does on the blue team. They're all staggered. And that's why staggered respawns are really dangerous unless you regroup. So as you can see, the blue team have made an attempt at regrouping here so that they're not going to get picked off one by one. Stronglow cannot and will not sustain a 1v3. He can't. He's doing his best to waste his engages here. He's wasting his evades. He's using Trollunguent really, really smart. He's chaining his heal before he wastes any cooldowns. And now it's just him into 2 Necros. So even though he held that node for about like 2 seconds extra, those 2 seconds make a difference. That's a difference of like 3 points. I put 4 fingers up. It's 3 points. So even in that time, that was really good. Volcano takes the node, but Volcano is basically going to lose this 1v1 again. So eventually, Stronglow is going to take this node back. He's going to knock... So when Volcano has no stab left, right? Stronglow is going to knock him back with his longbow. Just watch. So he resustains with Staff in Celestial. Gets all his health back up, and then he's going to switch to longbow. He's going to knock Volcano out. Just watch for the combo. And this is how he'll take the node back. He's going to get in position and knock him out. He wants to get around him. There we go. There's the knockout. And so that's still 2 ticks, right? That is 2 ticks. That's all he needed, right? He needs 3 more ticks, and if he plays it properly... there's the +1 from Miss Warriors coming in with the rotating staff face reversal, I believe he used. I mean... Volcano just got shat on, really. He got absolutely walked all over, and that was just a very... You see how quickly they came in, right? So Miss Warriors came in, he was here for about 3 seconds. Volcano's dead, he's off again. Both Miho and Miss Warrior, they just made that happen in about 5 seconds. They saw him go down, they were like, Stronglow can stop this, I don't need to stay here. I'm going back mid to defend my node. That is like really quick +1, that's really quick +2. It's just a complete and utter, dominance over a susceptible, vulnerable target that has no kit left. And now we're seeing Scourge Necro into Core Guardian. Core Guardian does actually counter Scourge Necro, so I would expect to see Elf Warden win this, but it went too quick. Okay. So really, really good game. It showcased quite a lot. Considering these last, 3 games that I've actually cast have been, really sort of educational to the new players, I might upload these, tonight tomorrow. as like a example of like educating you about SPVP, but at a really like low level.